What's going on YouTube? My name is Mocha and welcome back to the cafe. Now this video is going to be an unstructured fuckfest of just thoughts, and maybe you can call it a rant. I don't know what you want to call it, but I want to talk about World War III, I want to talk about early access, and I want to talk about these gamers being numb to what the hell they're doing nowadays. Listen, Rant, I supported World War III, I still have the game, and I'm just at a point where I'm just not enjoying the game. And it's because the game doesn't offer anything in return. For your $30 price tag, you're not getting much in return. And like, fuck this early access facade, these devs hiding behind a mask, these fanboys hiding behind a mask, that is just like, I have to sit here and wait 12 to 15 months to play a full product while I'm paying a full price. Like, I'm tired of that shit. Listen, I feel like this is going to be so unstructured because I'm just going to bounce from place to place to place. But you know, I've never done a video like this, so who cares? Listen, I've seen these past couple, it's been 2 weeks since launch, right? Okay, I've looked past, trust me, I've looked past that initial week of master server issues, constant bullshit in the discords, whatever, the lack of communication. I've looked past it, you know, because they've sort of gotten past it. The servers are up and running in certain areas, and it's running better, people are getting in games. But now I'm at a point where it's like, kind of what my last video alluded to was like, what's next? I really need to understand like the point of early access. 12 to 15 months of development, yet I have to pay a full price tag, and like I have to deal with 12 to 15 months of bullshit to one day hope that I play a full release game. Like, I want to get back to the days. This past week, I was watching Red Dead Redemption 2 walkthroughs and gameplays, and like, I was just skimming it, you know, because I want to play it for myself. But to see a game in its fullness be completed, launched, and then not many patches after, that's gaming to me. That's what I grew up. That is the staple of gaming, you know? We don't have to, like, do people not understand this generation? Like, when you bought a fucking N64 game, there was no patch for this shit. So, like, you just literally, you and plug that shit in, and then you played the game, and you didn't have to worry about exploits or anything. It was just a golden era in gaming. And now we're in this weird part that devs want to just use this, and like, oh my god, KSN site's so good. If you guys don't know him, I'll link his channel in somewhere. I don't fucking know, but I'll link his channel. And he said it, and he was just like, you know, a lot of these devs just hide behind the early access like shield. And I know it's not word for word what he said, but it's facts, because it's like you use it for lazy development, right? You use it just to get your game out into the market and start making money and start doing this stuff where like nothing's guaranteed anymore. And my problem is not always the developers, because I can never understand developing a game because that's not my fucking job. But the thing that gets me mad is the people that continually put these devs on a pedestal, and they're like, yo, this is my Battlefield. They're like, this is the best first-person shooter I've ever played. And it just like, it makes me question, what the fuck have you played that you could sit here and say World War III is a better experience than any of the Bad Company games, Battlefield 4, the Armor games, Squad, any of that shit? Because it's not. And I get that it's an unfinished, unpolished game, but don't sit here and lie to people and say that this game is in any form amazing at its current state. Like, the map, besides Warsaw, and even Warsaw, fuck that, all three of the maps are lifeless. Like, there's shit that just, like, you'll every now and then get into like decent battles, but there's like moments in the fucking 45-minute matches that you just, nothing happens. It's just like this quiet, shitty ambience, and just it's so boring. And then you got a 5,000 score, and I know someone's gonna say, well, they're patching that this week with the big patch, and it's going from a 5,000 score to a 4,000 score, and instead of 45 minutes, we're going to 40 minutes, and it's like, fantastic. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Listen, I'm really, what I've been trying to do this past week, I was trying to put a video out, I was writing down bullet points, and I was doing like this whole structured YouTube shit, and I've just come to terms that like, that's just not what I want for my channel anymore. I just want to talk my shit and like get people pissed off, because everybody's a fanboy. Everybody. I feel like everybody hated DICE once they noticed that people started hating DICE. You know what I mean? Because once the whole criticism of, oh my God, there's a woman in World War II in a video game, and like everyone jumped on that side, instead of standing up for what you actually care about or just formulating your own opinion, everyone jumped on that bandwagon, which instantly started the quote or the hashtag, not my battlefield. And like, can we be real? Like, can we be like, when Battlefield 5 comes out, it's gonna be one of the better shooters this year because it's actually a really good game? Like, it's gonna have fantastic sound design that I don't have to wait 12 to 15 months and pray that the sound design gets fixed. It's gonna have maps that are gonna definitely flow a lot better. And like, I know that it's an indie studio and all that shit, but can we stop with the excuses? Can we stop with that shit? Like why can't we just say what we want to say, speak our mind, and not have people be like, well, there's an excuse for everything, you know? Right? Like they dropped into early access. They had problems. Well, it's a small studio and they dropped into early access. So what do you expect? Oh, well, I paid $30. I expected better. Well, then refund the game. Damn, like, you're hitting me with so many excuses. Oh, I can't save my loadout. What do you expect? It's a bug early on. Like, the game feels lifeless. There's a lot of problems. Well, it's an indie studio with only maybe 50 to 100 people working on it. Oh, damn. So, like, I can't feel what I feel? Like, I can't speak up and be like, this is a problem in gaming? I have to just sit back and wear that mask like everyone else does and just accept shit? Like, fuck that shit, man. Like, why can't we just get the games we deserve to get that we're paying for? Like, why does this game, World War III, with the amount of crazy potential, like, it hasn't even reached its ceiling, and it might never, because of what happened that first week. Granted, right, it sold 100,000 copies, and freaking bravo to you guys, because that's amazing in early access. But it's like, you know, you tarnished half of your player base with that shit launch. And I'm just, like I said, I was watching that Red Dead Redemption 2 stuff, and it just made me question, what if they skipped out on early access and just did a full launch? Like, you drop a beta, you do what you have to do, but we just get back to a point in gaming where development gets finished, and then we know exactly what we're buying into. No more of this crap, no more of this bull that we're buying into something that's never given, you know? When Battalion initially came out and you were able to buy into that, I bought the $120 version. I can't play the game anymore because the player base isn't there. Islands of 9, I bought into that. I kickstarted that fucking game. And then I got my shit and I kept playing and everything was good, and then the game slowly started to die. And it's literally game after game after game that just goes through this same blueprint. And the problem that I always have, and the thing I never understand, is the fact that YouTubers and people always come up and they always say the same things to developers on how to avoid this crisis and how to avoid this shit and how to not sink your ship. And we get ignored. And then when everything happens, we're told to shut up. So, right, everything happens that we predicted, and not once do we ever stand up and be like, told you so, ha, gotcha, fucker. Like, we don't want to see games die. But then when the problems happen that we predicted, and then we come up and we're like, damn, like, that sucks, everyone tells you, well, shut up. Like, it just brings you down. And I don't know, I feel like I've gotten really off track here. But let me bring it back for you. Let me bring it back for you. So, like, this is my Battlefield. This is the first-person shooter I've ever wanted. I'm calling bullshit. Because in no way, shape, or form is this game ready to even deserve those titles. They haven't done anything to deserve those kind of titles. They haven't done anything to even win back the player base that they lost initially. It's been 2 weeks since launch, and I went back and I played a game, and I still feel like it's the same bullshit. It's a rushed launch, and I'm supposed to sit here and just smile and be like, well, in 12 to 15 months, maybe the game will get better. What?